Sorry about that. The sound didn't go. My name is Aurora, or Tina. How are you? I prefer Tina at my gaming. Thank you for joining us this evening, and we have some announcements.
We do. Due to work, school, and health issues, we have changed our schedule. The first, third, and fifth Sunday of the month, excuse me, we're going to be doing Fallen Dragons like we're doing tonight. The second and fourth Sunday of the month, we're going to do Esma's Beginnings. We're going to eliminate the Tuesday night scheduling because honestly, it just got to be too much for all of us to do. And if we want to bring you the best game that we can bring you, so we thought having a little more prep time would be good. And did I forget anything?
I didn't think I heard it, but I was also checking to make sure everything was running smoothly. But it's so Esma's Beginnings will be the second and fourth Sundays, and you did.
I did say that.
Okay,
yes.
then I think that's everything. We'll still do the podcast. We'll still do, the Twitch, and we'll still do the YouTube. We'll still do the after show content, and we'll still do the trailers and stuff. The only thing we switched was the show, which would be instead of on Tuesdays, every other Sunday. Sorry about the inconvenience, but I think this would be a better way for us to give you everything that you guys want.
Streaming 8 times a month is nuts.
Just a little bit. And I not that I'm making excuses, but I have 24 units this semester and I'm working full time. So I was going a little nuts.
Yeah, she's.
I had a little bit of a breakdown yesterday and I called Mike and said, Mike, we gotta change something. Sorry, I'm gonna play my D&D Beyond on here, so it looks like I'm not paying attention, but I'm using 3 different technologies right now. Sorry, let me turn off my notifications too. All right. Sorry about that. The sound didn't go. My name is Aurora Tina. How are you? Is someone playing? Nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us this evening. And is someone playing something? Because I can hear it in the background.
I don't know where it's from.
Is it Melody?
Yeah, I'm trying.
It's okay. Sorry about that. The sound didn't go. My name is Aurora Tina. How are you? I'm going to turn off the mics until we're done with that. Okay, so I unmuted everyone. Sorry about that. I think this is part of our show. Is what technical difficulties will we have tonight? So, I think it's kind of fun. We're learning. I think we're getting better as we go, but we are still having a lot of technical difficulties.
If one day you see an episode titled that, don't be surprised.
Actually,
episode titled Technical Difficulties.
Yeah.
Actually, Esma's Beginnings, the first one, the very first thing you go on to it says, "Sorry, technical difficulties were up the wazoo that day."
Yeah.
So anyway, we're good to go, Mike. If you want to go into everything else,
okay.
We're ready.
Um, for anybody new, my name's Mike. I'll be your DM tonight. And I'm here with my players, Tina, Dusty, and Melody. And we have a new player going forward, Patrick.
Hi.
Hey,
Um, you'll get to know Patrick's character as we go along. And with that, I'll give you a short overview of what's been going on. The group was paid to do a job to get a special dragon egg for a wizard. But that egg turned out to be in the Shadowfell. Group made it to the Shadowfell after, honestly, a harder battle than it should have been. But so they got to the Shadowfell, they battled some zombies that also ended up harder than it should have been. and not only did that happen, but Esma, Tina's character, gave a zombie a love potion. So then she had a lovesick zombie following her around, which was adorable. But he was dispatched quickly by the guards once they got to the dragon's castle. Esme then decided to go into the castle alone and investigate and try to find the egg. This did not go well as she was confronted by the dragon's advisor. And then last episode, she tried to make a deal with the dragon. This episode, we get to see whether that worked or not. So,
What you talking about, Mike? It worked. I'm just joking.
or you hope it worked anyway.
Hopefully.
Where we begin this evening is the group, except for Patrick, are in their rooms on the second floor. And they hear a momentous roar from both dragons at the same time.
I didn't do it. I was in the room.
And now, as this episode begins, all the guards are scurrying around almost in a panic because even the dragon guards don't know what this might be. So, as you guys are relaxing in your rooms, what do you do when you hear this?
I'm in the room smoking a bowl, and I kind of like I'm getting a little paranoid, like oh shit, oh shit. I kind of have like an inkling that it's probably hatching, but with the guards running around, I'm up here.
Okay. What is Enya doing?
I'm like, uh-oh, what's going on? And just stands there and looks around.
What is Esma doing in her room?
Esma goes and grabs one of her daggers, and she's ready to fight if she has to. And I think she goes to see what the commotion is.
Well, and any of the three of you can do this. You have two choices. You can either step outside and stop one of the guards and see if they know what's going on, or you can follow a guard.
I think Esma would follow the guard. She's,
And,
yeah, that's what she would do.
I'm thinking the guards are looking for me now, so I'm gonna stay in my room right now. Hide.
how about Enya?
I take my weapons and follow just in case.
Well, so,
I hear their doors open, and I'm like, oh shit. So like, I like crack open the door, and like see them, like, hey, what's going on? Esma, Anna, what's going on?
Esma's like, I don't know. I gotta figure it out. But I'll stab anyone. Stabby McStabby. Just joking. I'm joking.
the one thing Smite can tell by opening the door is they're not after you.
That's good.
Or, because if they had been, the minute you opened the door, there would have been one standing. They're not after you.
Yet.
Well, now I'm kind of hungry, so I'm gonna go with them. There's probably gonna be food if there's like an egg, right? So, I'll go with you. Let me grab my daggers. Hold on a second.
So, do you tell the other two of your theory about you think the egg is hatched or what?
Well, if they're not looking for me, I'll be right back. Let me find my daggers. Hold on a second. One thing at a time. One thing. So I like rummage through my bag and like grab some rope and some daggers and like, okay. I go back. All right, I'm like still hanging out at the door. I'm like, do you think the egg is hatching? Because I don't know why else those dragons would make that kind of noise unless they were looking for me. The whole world revolves around me now.
Told you that halfling step was strong.
Just a tad bit.
You got any snacks?
You ask a guard this, do you? Or one of your fellow adventurers.
No, I don't know. Anna's the only one around right now. Hey, Anna, you got any snacks?
No, I don't.
Really, like a
I could use some too.
cake. Sounds really good. Oh,
I thought chips sound good.
Ice cream.
Ooh, we got the
Okay.
flask.
Who has the flask of never-ending ice cream right now?
Esma.
Mhm.
What's up? You gonna hook it up or what?
Oh, I thought Esma went after the guards. But I guess if I'm with you guys, then yeah, here's my ice cream.
Well, all three of you have now started following the guards.
So then
You
I
should-
grab a spoon out of my thing and I grab an ice cream and I pass it around saying, have some.
The
you
flask of endless ice cream, is it
Yep.
soft serve?
Yeah.
Yes. It's soft serve.
What
Right.
did we decide? What flavor did we decide it was?
Cookie dough.
Yeah, it's
Oh
cookie
yeah,
dough.
They don't
soft
cookie dough soft serve.
soft
just
serve
it.
cookie dough ice cream.
Delicious.
Fuck.
Oh, I'm craving ice cream right now.
They paid an ungodly amount to have a
Where's
Wiz-
There
every
was
penny?
charisma.
wizard create this for them.
Delicious.
That's why we're poor. That's why we're poor.
Well, we have ice cream, so.
Yes, we do.
So
And you all
now,
got little fur snake babies, so.
so
We
now,
got a cloak of invisibility, right? So.
Yummy, yummy to my tummy.
so
I'm sorry.
that raises the question: did you leave your animals in your rooms, or did you just bring them with you?
I think Snaky does not like that we're near dragons, so he's in our room.
Okay.
So
Yeah, Lennox is in the room too.
They probably didn't like the loud noise much.
not at all.
Yep.
I already
So-
ruined my friendship with Shadow Jane. I will not ruin my relationship with my
Okay.
Snaky.
You don't have a relationship with Shadow Jane anymore.
But I
You-
talk to her all the time. She was like my
You-
best friend.
You lost the zombie you were madly in love with.
Well, not in love with, but he was in love with me.
Fascinated with.
Yeah. From the zombie point of view, you were madly in love. But
Oh yes, yes I was.
in fact, it was one of the saddest pictures ever. Right before he died, he looked back at her with this expression going, "Why did you do this to me?"
You can hear the violins.
And then he was killed. In fact, we need to get a T-shirt like that
Exactly.
I actually made a T-shirt.
of the
Another
zombie.
one.
Of the zombie.
Yeah,
Oh God!
with Esma
Okay.
and a rainbow heart.
So, you guys walk down the hall behind the guards. They know you're there. They can hear you. One looks back as you're eating ice cream and gives you this odd look because he doesn't know what ice cream is. But they get to the main ballroom, the large room where you talked to the dragons earlier. And they open the door and rush in. And only the female dragon is there. But laying next to her is a wormling obsidian shadow dragon.
Oh,
It's so cute. Can I pet it?
Oh,
You attempt to move toward it. It snaps at you, and the mother gives you a look like that's not really the best idea.
Aw.
It's so cute.
Knight doesn't like children.
Well-
So,
Well,
congratulations.
I don't know that you could put this in a baby dragon in the same category as a child.
Exactly.
Doesn't like baby anything.
It's when it stands up, it's actually bigger than you are.
I would imagine so, but it's still a baby.
So,
Babies are stupid.
I wouldn't say that to the dragon mother.
Well,
Uh.
that's what I'm thinking. Didn't say it out loud. I just said congratulations.
well, no. To your considering you were born half demon, I wouldn't even know how demon children react as far as that goes.
They're
But
probably little shitheads, but I would imagine.
that would fit, yeah. A few minutes later, you hear these large footsteps, and Ishkabel walks through from the, the, for lack of a better term, back door of the great hall, and sits down beside his mate, where the wormling is now in between the two.
Y'all see any cool bits of shell anywhere? A little piece. I think it would make a nice ring or
Uh, Ishkabel looks at his mate for a minute, and she nods slightly. And he says in common, you'll have to come down to the dungeon to get that.
Awesome. We would appreciate that. Thank you for letting us have the shelling. We'll have to leave, or one of us will have to leave for business for a little bit afterwards. But if that's all right with you, I could stay here for negotiations if I need to.
What is it you need this egg for? Or
Oh,
the shell for?
to be honest, we got a job to give them the shelling of it. That's one of the reasons why we came here. Not to get the dragon, of course, but just the shelling. Esma's not laughing at me. I am.
just show the whole hand.
He looks at you rather oddly. I knew the three of you had some sort of ulterior motive for being here.
I thought it would be just part of my negotiations. I didn't want to ask until after your baby was born, because I didn't want you to think that we were actually after the baby. Your baby.
Well, even if you were, it's hatched now. The festival starts tomorrow. Um, but come with me and you can have as much of the shell as you can carry.
Bring the bag of holding.
I said we could carry the whole thing with that.
Well, we have the bag of holding. So we'll put it in the bag of holding. And it's not like it's life, so it doesn't need the oxygen.
Yes, but it is heavy.
Yeah, but the bag of holding, doesn't it lower the
Well,
weight of it?
once you get it in the bag, yes. Lifting it to put it in the bag is another story.
Esma
You
has
can't just
levitate.
open the bag underneath it.
No,
Well, Esma has levitate, so.
true.
And it's still heavy, even though
And
there's
I'll have my
nothing
unseen
in it.
servant actually
Yeah.
help out. Because I think she just doesn't like to be in the dangerous situations. So I'll gently ask her to help lift the stuff.
A dragon egg weighs several hundred pounds.
even with nothing in it.
Hmm.
The shell itself still weighs probably more than your character does.
Hmm.
Well,
Well,
if we
I
all
could
put it-
levitate, so I could levitate that some of it.
That works.
And we could ask the guards to help us. So I think Esma asked the dragons, can we ask the guards to help us lift the egg into our bag of holding?
No.
Says there are 2 guards already in the dungeon on guard duty, so one of them could probably take a few minutes to help.
And how do we get out of the dungeon?
Uh,
Dun dun dun.
he lifts one of his claws and the advisor walks up. Glances at Esma as he walks over, starts to talk to the dragon. Dragon says, my advisor Talos will go with you as far as the 2nd floor parlor, which I believe your compatriot Esma here knows about.
Just a little bit.
I have instructed him to temporarily remove the spell that guards the doorway to the dungeon.
Thank you.
Talos motions to the 3 of you. Follow him. You walk down the hall and into the parlor, 2nd floor parlor, where Talos found. In fact, a section of your rope still lays on the floor.
Yay!
He took the arrow and didn't bother to take the rope. So, he gets to the back wall, mumbles a few words in a language you don't understand, waves his hand, and about half the back wall disappears.
Dang.
And as you says, this is where I will leave you. When you are finished here, I will replace the spell. And he turned around and walked away. As you step forward, you are now in the dungeon. Unlike when Esma investigated, there is no 30-foot drop. It's just flat.
It was spelled.
Yep.
So I was close to the egg. Oh,
As you walk into the dungeon, you see scattered shards of obsidian dragon egg on the floor. There are many smaller pieces. There are 3 fairly large pieces. And standing over in the corner are 2 dragon guards. And they're standing next to a person who is facing the wall, so you can't really see his face. He's in moderately expensive clothing, but been here for a while, so they look not as neat as they could be. And his wrists are chained to a single point wall. What do you guys do?
well, do I recognize him at all?
Everybody give me a perception check.
14 plus 3, 17.
Not
20. My first nat 20 when it doesn't fucking matter.
That's the way it goes.
I got new dice, so
Is this the first nat 20 you've ever rolled, or just for tonight?
probably. It's probably the
Wow.
first one I've ever rolled. These dice are way better.
Got 20 total.
Well, you didn't need to roll. I should have said that.
Ah,
This is the first time I haven't been completely oblivious to whatever's going on. At least I didn't
Which
stop
one are we doing?
until-
Persuasion? Are we doing persuasion? I mean, perspective or investigation?
Perception.
Okay, then I got a 20. I had 16 plus 4.
Esma is enthralled with the eggshells. But the 2 of you take an interest in the person that's chained to the wall. And
When I'm high, my brain works better.
Smite notices that the garb he's wearing is the garb of a monk. It's fancier garb than most monks you've ever seen. But it's monk clothing. Anya looks at him for a second and realizes she's seen that garb before. She recognizes this person.
Wave.
Well, you can't. You can wave wristwise like this, but wristwise, you're rather like chained to the wall. So you can't really wave a whole lot to the wall.
I have it. I am running Twitch on mute.
This will mine, so
Uh,
Soon going to be the name of our channel.
technical difficulties. No longer upon dragons, it's technical difficulties.
You've now entered the land of technical difficulties.
But I think whatever it was, it's done. So it might have just been our streaming service because once I put the volume back, it was fixed.
So, when this person notices other people in the room and sees the guards move toward Esma, actually, because they don't know why the three of you are there. The dragon nor the advisor told them what you were doing. So they're sort of starting to move toward you.
Esma says we got permission to be here. I am in negotiations with the king and queen. We're here for the leftover parts of the dragon egg.
I'm gonna help clean up the mess.
Yeah, we're gonna help clean the mess up. And we actually got permission for you to help us.
Well, the two guards look at each other and with this confused look on their and one of them tells the other one to go find either the advisor or the king himself, verify this, and do it quickly. So one of the guards runs off, and one person who's chained to the wall notices, turns around. It causes a moderate amount of pain to this to do. But he wants to see what all the commotion is about. And he sees Enya standing there. So what does chained up person do?
Oh, hi. I remember you.
And I remember you. What are you doing down here in this nice dungeon?
The chained person standing there, when she says nice dungeon, you're thinking to yourself, that's not how I would have termed this situation. So,
You know, it's not the best inn I've ever stayed in. The accommodations are all right, but the room service is terrible.
That sucks.
They wouldn't believe that I was just a tourist. They kept going on about state secrets and how I must be here as a spy, but you know, I'm not.
Or are you?
I don't have a country, so probably not.
Yeah, I'm honestly shocked that they bought that we were tourists.
They believed you, but not me. Sexist.
uh,
I think it's the horns.
Yeah, the horns does it for her.
they believed you guys because of Esma.
Thank you. Thank you.
If they wouldn't have believed Esma's spiel, you would have been chained up next to your friend over there.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So, does anybody attempt to help this person, or are you just going to stand there and have a conversation?
I say to the guards, you know, I'm with them. I'll help them with the egg. You should let me down.
Esma asked Enya, how well do you know this person?
Pretty well. We traveled together over a year.
Did you like him? Is he
Yeah,
worth
it's pretty
saving?
good. It's pretty good.
Esma goes and says, I'll talk to them for you. But you have to swear allegiance to me.
Oh, to you, huh? It's me. I'm the one that knows him.
Blink, 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 blink.
Uh,
My lady.
and upon hearing this, Smite thinks to herself that Esma's distress is starting to get to her, and she's starting to go a tad sideways.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, she used to be a little sweet, sugar, bubbly thing, and now she's all manipulative. I like it.
And now
It's an improvement.
and she's still a teenager. It's like,
I mean, kids go through a lot of like exploration of their identity, and I get that. You know, I'm not mad. I think, like I said, it's an improvement.
It's an improvement. I love it.
this is what happens when Esma's coming down from sugar.
No, I feel like I've been a positive influence.
Just a little bit.
I try to serve as a role model for the youth.
You have. You've been a great
That's
role
scary.
model.
You being a role model.
You've been a wonderful role model, Esma.
At this point in time, James is willing to do almost anything he has to do to
I'm
not
fairly sure they were going to eat me.
I'm
No,
pretty
we
sure.
went into Dragon's Might, but
yeah.
I would agree with that.
The tag on your garb that says future dragon snack has nothing to do with that.
Nom 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 nom.
They've got to feed the baby somehow. They have a new member of the family.
New mouth to feed.
So I think Esma's gonna. She wants to take care of the dragon egg first, so she tells the guards, "Help us with the dragon eggs." She commands them royally, trying to play that part. But she grabs the bag of holding. She conjures her unseen servant to help, and then she starts levitating stuff. And then I don't know what everyone else is doing.
And
Holding the bag.
your unseen servant whispers in your ear, "Finally, a job that won't get me killed. It's about time."
Esma whispers back, "I listen. You should have told me this sooner. I thought you liked danger like I did."
I always thought you were crazy.
Well, duh.
Now I,
Do that.
now I know. But you see a moderately sized piece of the egg float into the air and into the bag.
I am casting Unseen Servant right now because I forgot to do that. Alright.
And about this time, the other guard comes running in and whispers to his guard mate, "Okay, you've been cleared." Then they start helping load the egg fragments into the bag.
Awesome. So happy.
One does, however, glance over at James to make sure that still where he should be.
Escaped like 5 times before this, so
Oh, tried to escape. Seems like.
I ask the guards, like, what's this guy doing here? The guy on the wall.
According to Ishkabale, pretty much the same thing you two were doing. He was caught snooping around the ground. He, however, didn't have somebody like your friend there to bail him out.
Well, now he does. Me.
was just here to paint the castle.
What can I say? The Shadowfell is a popular tourist destination.
Yep. He just. I've known him for years, and I've known he always had a fascination with dragons.
Who doesn't love gloom and despair? I mean, it's the best thing in the world. It's like
No, it's
eating
not.
sugar.
And the guard goes, "Considering you were caught for the same thing, having you vouch for him doesn't really do much."
Well, I'll try and negotiate for him. We'll see if I can help out.
Meanwhile, you can stretch, bud.
Because you could have just as easily end up chained up beside him for all I know.
I mean,
minor facts. It doesn't really matter. And then Esma still levitates and try to get as much of the shells done. Levitates the shells into the bag.
I lean over to Esma and say, hey, maybe we should keep part of this shell. It must be pretty powerful if the old wizard wants it.
We never said that we'd give them all. We said we'd give them.
I mean, You gotta be more specific.
next time.
In a contract.
So,
Well,
You can just keep it in the bag of holding.
yeah.
It might come in useful. It's pretty.
Yeah.
It's
Very
really
pretty.
pretty. I mean, like, I wouldn't mind another ring.
Yeah.
It's great as a dietary supplement. You grind it up, you put it in your porridge. It's fantastic. Great for the
It-
hair.
That's what does it help with like grays?
No,
Oh.
just
Do you
makes
know
it
of
shiny.
anything that works for grays?
but
Orange juice?
I think that's for something else. I already shit.
No, you rub it in.
Oh, that's what she said.
Ah,
So true.
I mean, purple's better than gray, right?
I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't complain if you're gonna rub it in.
Better
well,
in than out.
that's a completely objective theory on your. So the guards look at the conversation that James and Smite are having and just sort of look at each other and shake the. They're like, these two are weirder than I thought.
The sooner you let me go, the sooner I'll be out of your hair.
Yeah, I feel like we're probably gonna get along fine if you end up hanging out with us. Well, not friends.
Well, that is the dragon's decision, not ours.
Haven't you ever wanted to make some decisions around here, man? You know, you're a big guy.
If we make the wrong decision, we'll end up what you're about to be. And
Well, that's fine with us.
we really don't want that to happen.
You could join us. You can leave with us when we leave.
You get paid well, at least. I mean, benefits, vacations. I mean,
Eh.
how well do you really like your job?
When was the last time they gave you a day off?
Living in the Shadowfell, it's better to work for the dragon than not to work for the dragon.
You know, there are other planes of existence.
That's very true.
Yep.
Esma has been to a couple of planes in her past.
I look at you like, that's news to me, sweetheart.
The guard goes, well, in that case, maybe you shouldn't have agreed to do whatever you've agreed to do to get you down here.
Esma's a little lost. She was too busy doing the egg stuff. She's like, oh, whatever. And she continues with the shell moving of the shells of the egg.
At this point, between you, your unseen servant, and then you've gotten all the egg. You've gotten all the eggshell off the floor. So, what do you do at this point?
I think Esma decides that since he had pledged allegiance to her, she'll talk to the dragons and see if she can let him free and become a part of her party. Because she's realizing her party isn't that strong since the zombies almost killed Smite. So she might need another replacement.
Smite is just extra squishy.
Yeah. So Esma wants another one just to, help out.
Just in case Smite goes down again.
Yeah. I mean, it happened a couple times and she did run away from us.
I got new dice,
Yes.
but I'm still gonna run away if I'm gonna die.
So now it's gonna be Esma that goes down instead of Smite.
Oh, I don't think Esma's gonna go down. She's pretty dang. She got a lot of hit points.
Yeah, but now Smite's gonna roll better than you are.
Maybe.
Well, I ordered new
Yeah.
dice.
It only
above
happened
game.
once. It only happened one time.
Above game, I bought new dice, so I should be better.
Ooh.
Yeah, I should be getting it next week.
This is why people the actual reason that people collect dice, because they're on the eternal hunt for the set of dice that will keep them alive.
I found the best dice ever, Mike, and you banned me from using it.
They only roll good for so long.
No. This rolled good forever because the edge was a little off.
Yeah.
So it hit natural 20s like no other.
It was
Every time.
it was a malfunctioning dice. There was a factory error in the dice.
But it gave me natural 20s all the time. Whatever.
But
I got banned from it. Above game.
I think some dice are cursed for sure.
Yeah.
and
Apparently some are blessed.
you have to be nice to your dice or they won't roll for you.
I was nice, but you weren't nice to it.
You have to talk to it, massage it. No, let's before the game starts.
I
I
painted.
dedicated my dice. Like a tarot deck.
There you
That's why
go.
we're getting along.
Yeah. See?
That's what I guess I gotta do. I gotta bless them.
Mhm.
Yeah. So is Esma gonna try and go talk to the dragon now, or
Well, I think she wants to get this job done. She asks if one of them are willing to go give it to whoever needs to, or should we wait? Because I think with negotiations it's gonna be a while. So she doesn't want to split up the party, but she also wants to get this job done, so then the warlock won't
Well,
get angry with us.
how long are negotiations gonna take? Because like I found a really great plug here. As long as we don't run out of money, I'm gonna be able to have a good time. And this is a great hotel. Yeah, I'm down to
beg to
sit here
differ.
on vacation.
Of course you'd beg to differ. I would too if I were you.
Yeah, I beg to differ too.
Just the budget accommodations.
Yeah.
well,
I mean, it is nicer than my cell back at the monastery, but
What are you into?
monk stuff.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm
This
not
when
judging you.
monks-
I'm just like
Since when do monks venture into Shadowfell?
I'm a tourist. My monastery got burned down. It was not the business.
Aw. Well, it sounds like you had a good time, though. I mean, fire is awesome. Esma loves fire. So do I, but
you're
Esma loves.
into.
So yes, Esma goes and she talks to the dragons to see if
Smoke.
we can get a negotiation.
So you walk back into the do all three of you go, or just Esma?
I think somebody needs to keep an eye on that little sneaky sneak.
I'm lovable and good.
This and that. This and that.
But also, Mike, it's about 8:15. I don't know if you want to take a break before we start on the negotiations. It's like 8:11 right now.
Yeah. we could do that now.
Okay.
How long of a break do you guys need?
Maybe 15, 20 minutes.
So if we do 20 minutes, if we do that, I would do 8:45 maybe.
Okay.
Does that work with everyone?
I'm back at 8:45.
Yeah.
I guess
Wait,
so.
so
That's 34 minutes away.
Oh, maybe not. That maybe we'll start a little later. I mean, go on break and then maybe go at break at 8:20 and then go until 8:45. Does that work?
Because this is not going to be a formal negotiation.
Okay, so yeah, we could do the negotiation then go on break.
This is going to be you trying to convince the dragon to let Jim join your group.
Okay, so how about we do that and then we'll go on break. Does that work with everyone?
Sure.
Okay. So Esma goes. She sighs, takes a deep breath. She's like, okay, I gotta play this part. I gotta do this part. You know, I want to help Anya, and also I need someone else in the party because we're not as strong as I want to be. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And then so she goes up and she starts playing the part of a royal. Because she doesn't feel
So-
like she's really a royal.
You walk into the ballroom, the main right room on the second floor. Talos is there. A couple of guards are at the door. And the three dragons are just basically resting. It's almost a, pile of dragon laying.
I go dragon cuddle bottle.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been awesome to just cuddle with them, I think.
Which is the largest thing you've ever seen. It takes up most of the room. But so what do you do?
I think Esma's gonna go and tell them that one of our party members actually knows this guy, and we don't think he is a threat. And I would like to vouch for him and have him as a party member. Hoping Anya is correct and that Anya is not wrong about this.
Ishkabale looks up at you. He's in a somewhat relaxed state. He's like, so one of your party knows that thing in the dungeon, does she?
Yes, and she vouches for him. And as she's our cleric, I am prone to believe her.
Given the fact that he was caught basically doing the same thing that brought her in here, I'm a little more doubtful that you would be. I will do this. I will have a guard send for her. And I will discuss this with her. And if she convinces me that he's actually not a threat, I will let you deal with him.
I will make. He has sworn for someone actually disappeared. We're gonna play the musical chair things again. It's Melody that disappeared. First time it's Melody.
The dragon's about to summon her and she disappears.
Of course.
She runs away in abject fear.
Of course.
On the stream, Melody's frame is like part of her couch, so it's not.
Yeah,
So,
I haven't changed it yet because once she gets back on, I'm gonna have to play musical chairs.
okay.
So I don't know if you guys just want to do a break thing until she comes back. I mean, it's a little early, but or we continue on without her. But if she's the one who has to
Well,
talk to the dragon, we kinda need her.
given that she has disappeared for some reason, we will go on break right here.
Oh, she's back. Oh, but hold on,
Oh.
let me actually move her.
I'm the one that disappears.
Yeah. Okay, we're fixed.
Okay.
This was my favorite part, is watching the musical chairs.
Yeah, but I actually fixed it so I know exactly where everyone is, so that doesn't happen anymore. I'm sorry.
Um,
I ruined the musical chairs for you.
so
Other things bring me joy as well,
Oh, good.
but I still miss it.
so does Esme go down with the guard, or does she stay with the dragon?
She stays with the dragons and she summons. She has the guard summon Esma. I mean Enya, because she feels like that's the most royal thing to do, is not to go back and forth, but to stay.
So Smite and Enya are still down in the dungeon waiting for Esma to come back. And about that time, a third guard appears. Enya, the dragons would like to see you now.
Okay. I'll head up or down there.
So the guard escorts you to the main great room on the second floor, where see the three dragons, the queen and the baby are still resting, but Ishkabale is now standing next to his advisor. Says, I hear that you know the miscreant hanging in my dungeon.
Yes, I do.
And I suppose you do know that he was, shall we say, escorted to my dungeon for snooping around the grounds like you and your friends were.
Yeah, I heard. He told me.
So what do you know of this person?
He's a pretty good fellow. He's troubled with me for a year and a half, 2 years. Never was in trouble. Always was a good person. Although he did tell me he has a fascination with dragons. Not a bad one, but a good one. Fascination with dragons.
It seems that everybody has a fascination for dragons. I tend to believe that they have a fascination for my treasure more than self. As humanoids tend to be almost as greedy as dragons are.
But see, that's where I don't fall in because I'm not a humanoid.
You probably are.
Well, shall we say, anything that's not a dragon but give me a perception check to see if you've actually no, give me a persuasion check to see if you've actually convinced.
I have 10 plus 5, so 15.
Just 1 second.
Oh, that's not good. Mike is rolling. What did I miss?
He's rolling anti-persuasion.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, I hate it whenever Mike rolls.
Me too.
I love making my party nervous. He says, I don't know if I believe you, but I guess it would be the quickest way.
Second quickest way.
Outside of eating him to get rid of the thing in my dungeon. And since the festival is tomorrow and I have a new member of my family who caught me at a good time, I will let you have this person.
Awesome!
Awesome! Yay!
With the condition that other than in the presence of the rest of you, he never enters my castle again. If he does, I will feed him to my child.
Deal. I'll let him know.
At which point, the guard escorts Enya back to the dungeon with instruction to let Jim go. He walks over with a key, unlocks the manacles from James' arms, and steps back.
I like rub my wrists, shake them out, and then I'm like, and my things?
Oh, they're in a pile beside you.
Oh, well then I just pick them up.
They always have been.
They just
Right.
magically appeared. Or you're so dehydrated you didn't even notice.
No, I just decided the dungeon didn't have a storage area. So,
My perception is not that good. I just didn't see them.
so.
You might want to fix that when you get your ability score.
It's dark.
He watched the dragon egg hatch, because I'm imagining with he's seeing all the shells there. He's just all messed up right now.
Well, yes. He's been standing there for several days. He's not necessarily at his optimum mental level right now.
We were frozen in the same position for a few weeks. I think we
We understand.
understand.
We totally understand.
So
So, Mike, do you want to go do the break now? It's like 8:26.
And I tell Jem, you are not to be in this castle unless you're with one of us.
Sure.
And if you are caught here doing something wrong again, we cannot save you, and you're fed to the dragon.
Yep,
I always wanted to be eaten by a dragon.
the
Like,
baby
I mean,
dragon.
that's the next best thing, right?
It's not a bad way to
Yeah,
go.
no,
It's not.
that's really bad.
Esma would watch and have fun.
I mean, that's the next closest thing to being a dragon, right?
That
No,
is true.
being part of being digested by one, I don't.
no, that's not the best. No.
You're okay. And with that, I think we'll go on break, and we'll be back at 8:45. I do believe is what we decided on.
Oh.
So we will see you guys back here in 20 minutes or so. We're now on break, so 8:45.
Hello, everyone. We're back from our break. Hope you guys had a good break too. Mike, you're ready whenever you are.
Oh, I will say one thing real quick. Don't feel free to ask us questions in the chat. We want to talk to you guys and get to know you guys. But before break, group's new friend James was released from the shackles in the dungeon after Enya had convinced the Ishkabale that they would keep track of him and that wouldn't get caught snooping around the castle again. And Ishkabale made it clear that if that happens again, that James is dragging kibble for the new baby. So what do you guys want to do now that there's 4 of you?
Well,
Where to?
first, I just want to say that these dragons have been pretty benevolent considering, like, all the things. Like, we didn't have to fight or, like, steal or, like, we got put up in this fancy hotel. It wasn't, yeah, they let this guy go. Like, I don't know, for dragons in the Shadowfell, like obsidian dragons, like, almost too easy. Just saying.
Well, you caught Ishkabale and his mate at the best possible time. The festival starts tomorrow. Their baby just hatched. basically caught them at the best possible time you catch them.
Oh, that's amazing.
They were in a good mood.
You're in a good mood for once.
And oh, by the way, the guard escorts you guys to your rooms and gives Jim a key to the next room down the hall
Oh, good.
so that you now have your own room.
Nice. I'm not gonna walk in. Nicer room than normal.
The rooms in Ishkabel's castle are nicer than any of the inns in this city. Even the high-end one that's just down the square a bit. So, and they're a couple times larger than the average room in an inn. So what do the four of you do?
So where are we going?
Well, I have to stay here to negotiate, so I can't really do anything. But if you guys want to return the egg so we could get our payment in full and we don't owe a negative balance, that would be great. But if not, you guys can stay here with me and negotiate, and then also they're gonna have that parade and celebration tomorrow, so you guys can stay for that if you want to. I'm good with whatever.
Frankly, free room and board. The food is really good. There's a big party. I've got some good drugs. I am in no hurry to leave this place. I mean,
I'm in some hurry to leave this place, but I mean, I guess we could stay for that.
And you get to see more of the dragons because you love dragons, so you did before you got caught.
I really was just here to paint the castles, so I think I might go do that.
Well, I want to talk to them about that first.
you're not supposed to be snooping around without us.
Okay, come with me. It'll be fun.
I'm gonna go get high.
That
Esma's,
sounds great too.
Well, come with me. Let's go get. Do you smoke?
Yeah.
Well, let's do it. Come on.
And
I
yeah,
think we're gonna get along.
and yes, like we've sort of done what we came here to do. It's time to get the hell out of here.
I
Well,
like it here.
hopefully, Esma just wants to finish the negotiations, get her ring back, and, do whatever she has to do now. But she doesn't want to stay here now. She wants to have fun because she likes it. But now that her secret's out, she doesn't want to be here as long as she wants to be gone as soon as possible.
So, and have you decided the wizard can wait a couple of days?
Yeah.
I'm saying no. He needs to know now. Let's go.
And yeah, do you want to go on your own and drop
Not
off
really,
the...
not on my own. No.
Okay, then I think we have to wait till I'm done with my negotiations. But maybe we can send a note to the wizard letting him know that we got the dragon shards. Or, the egg shards.
Let them know we're in progress. I wouldn't give it all away to him yet.
That is true.
Hey, we're still thinking about you. Working on it.
We're almost
It's
done.
more challenging than we thought. We might need some more money.
I love that. All right,
Yeah.
Esma drafts that, and she sends it off.
Maybe we should tell him one of us is hostage and he needs to send money so we can get him out.
Esma
Need
sends
bail
it.
money.
Esma sends it to Wish Daddy with a little heart. She hasn't talked to him in a
Oh,
while.
Wish Daddy. I need to see Wish Daddy. It's been a minute.
Yeah, I had to bring him up.
Mm. Like,
Uh, well, that will be delivered, but you probably won't get a response on it till probably tomorrow.
That's okay.
fast.
Too bad you guys don't have sending. Or do you guys have sending stones at all?
No,
No.
that's the other game.
No, that's this game.
Did we get sending stones? Cause that was
Oh,
in Yara.
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's not this game. We keep making references to our old game. Of course, we had a year with that
At
game.
Bottom of the bag of holding. Subtract.
Oh yeah, we could, cause we did find the confusion thing in there. And this, I think, was as in Yara's bag was what we came up with. So Esma looks in the bag and sees if there's any stones. Is there any stones, Mike?
Give me investigation check.
Maybe Smite should do it, but I'll do it. Nat 20!
Uh, as you very carefully dig past the dragon eggshell that you collect, you do see two small stones at the bottom of the bag.
So Esma's like, we got sending stones! Woot woot!
Okay. I just want to say, I don't know if are these consumables or are they like never ending?
I thought they were
Send-
never ending.
Sending stones are permanent.
Oh, okay. Well then use it if you want.
They're just stones that have been imbued with permanent sending spell.
All right. So, like, before we send this message, we need to make sure that we're being strategic about it to our benefit, of course, is my opinion. I don't know what anyone else thinks about that, but I think if we say the right thing, we might be able to either get more money or
That is the way.
like say one of us is in jail, we need bail funds, or this is way harder than we thought it was. Like we might take a little longer. We're working really. This is, yeah, like this is super hard. You're getting the bargain of the deal, but we need bail money for somebody or something.
We got progress, but we need help.
Mhm. But I think we should be strategic and make this letter be of benefit to us.
True. And maybe we should ask for some money, extra money.
Saying somebody is in jail, we need to bail them out. You know, we've run into a lot of challenges. We need
That's roughly
for
even
weapons.
true.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's not a lie.
We almost got in the dungeon. It's just been,
One thing after the other.
so we need extra funds.
Yeah.
I think these are gonna scar.
Yeah.
You can even tell him about the zombie battle where Smite almost dies.
Yeah, we need like healing potions. We need to make this to our benefit.
Yeah.
We've run into expenses.
Yes. I think that's good.
All
Okay,
right.
that's what we're gonna do.
Mhm. Sounds good.
So you use the sending stone you say this, a few seconds later, get a response from Conan.
What's the
He
response?
says, well, the Shadowfell is not an easy place. I'm sorry to hear that Smite almost died. Did discuss how dangerous the place is. I could give you a little bit more money for expenses, but I would have to send it like a package, which I don't know how long that would take to get to you.
Send it to Wish. Yeah, I was gonna say send it to Wish Daddy, but no, send it to the inn that we were at. Because I don't think if we put that, we would send it to the castle. That's a good idea. So we'll say send it to the inn we're at, and let us know when it gets there, and we'll pick it up.
Okay. I'll see how much I can come up with. And I'll send it tonight. May get it sometime tomorrow.
Thank
Sure.
you.
All goes well. What progress on the dragon egg have you made?
We're getting close as soon as we get the friend out.
We should have it in a few days, hopefully. Because I think negotiations shouldn't take that long. Unless something else bad happens, in a few days we should get it once we get the gold.
They're still negotiating with the dragons.
Well, I don't think I'd notify that.
How did one of you end up in dungeon? You were supposed to sneak in and sneak back out.
Someone's not very sneaky.
Yeah. Hey, we're going after dragons, who are very intelligent creatures. You know,
With really big eyes.
not the easiest task to do.
You were supposed to wait till they were gone.
That's highly unlikely with the egg. They're going to be on guard. So, we're doing the best we could.
I guess so. This is what happens when nobody has high level magic.
True.
Voice stops. So you tell the rest of the group what he told you?
Of course. Esma is always honest and truthful, isn't she?
Not always.
She's not honest and truthful with herself much anybody else.
This and that.
This and that. That and this.
The left, put it this way, the left side of her brain doesn't know what the right side of her brain is doing.
Well, no, it does, but is very scared of what the right side is doing. And vice versa.
So,
I think we all are.
Just a scotch.
so tell Konos to have the box sent to the Wilted Willow Inn. where you stayed the first night you were there, and outside of which is where you fought the zombies. So Patrick and Smite are in Smite's room having fun.
Uh,
That kind of fun. We're smoking out.
as we smoke, I like break out a canvas and painter's palette and paint the castle like I said I was going to do, wondering why anyone thought I'd be snooping around. See?
Wrong kind of paint.
Be little trees.
They thought you meant like paint the outside of the castle, which you couldn't have done because it's obsidian stone anyway. But
You can whitewash anything.
Heyo.
yeah, you wouldn't have lived through it.
I wouldn't have been able to save you. Enya would not have been able to save you. So, it's a good thing you didn't whitewash the castle.
Paint the black castle against an orange sunset. Ta-da!
Complete with the gray spider web pattern and all that, yeah. So, and
You're pretty good, man.
given the condition you are currently in, it's surprising that you can actually do that right now. But
Apparently, my dice work better when I'm high. So
yeah, they wouldn't if they were the.
I hotboxed them. They are high.
So what? So what is Esma and Enya doing currently?
Well, Esma is preparing herself for negotiations because she feels like if she fails on this, the whole party is dead. It's very deadly.
Which is actually an accurate assumption, really.
Yeah. She's excited about it and excited about getting this all done, but she also knows that it's highly likely that we're all going to be dead soon if she doesn't do it right. So she's practicing with all her training, everything she's learned from her years of adventuring, her years of schooling, and her, learning from her, court life and everything else. She's bringing it all in one thing to be the best negotiator she can, because she knows both her left brain and her right brain. If she messes this up, we're all dead.
So what is Enya doing?
I'm going back to my room and ordering some food
Ooh.
and drink.
Oh,
Enya, you should be helping me. Because the other two are too high to help me. So Esma knocks.
Okay, so I order the food to go to your room.
Okay, awesome.
so Enya steps out in the hall, flags down one of the guards, and orders food. He has it sent to Esmond.
And drink.
Oh, yes. And so, with that, the guard says he'll be back in a little bit and he'll bring everything to Esmond's room. And
You get food too.
And you walk into Esmond. Oh, right, and Jim, are you guys gonna order room service or?
That's a great idea.
There's room service?
Oh yes, this is the greatest hotel.
Can you see why?
As long as you don't die.
You try the food.
Yeah. Well, definitely.
So Jim steps out in the hall just in time to catch the other guard passing by. He orders food for him and Smite, and the guard kind of nods and continues walking down the hall.
I guess we head into Esma's room,
Okay.
and I'm like, hey, I didn't get a chance to thank you before. My swords are yours.
Esma says, I thank you. I think we're going to need it just to live. I got you out a little bit, but we're still in trouble. And then she smiles because she's still a teenager.
Go around, son.
What was that?
I think you probably have enough swords to go around.
You know it.
That is true.
Short swords, great swords, you name it.
Versatile.
You're a monk. What are you doing with a bunch of swords?
I'm a Kensei monk.
Nobody enlightened me on that little point.
Oh,
but, okay.
I should send you my character sheet.
You have more info than I do.
And
More than any of us do. We just found him in the dungeon, so how well do we know him?
And backstory might come in handy if you've got a minute.
He was a monk at a monastery to the Stormlord.
Well, pretty much I think anything he does that's gonna be Mike's gonna twist it.
The monastery got burned down. He's the only one that survived.
See, I don't have to twist that. He did it already.
Oh, Mike, I already know you. You're gonna twist it no matter what, so it's gonna get more twisted.
Yeah, but that was a decent start. Oh, wait. So now you're basically telling the three of them this to help them get to know you.
Yep. After that, I was on the run. There were bandits after me. I had to leave the country. But I ran into a traveling combat tournament. That's where I got these, and I show off my swords.
Pretty
And
cool.
I've just kind of been on my own since then. I
And then-
traveled with Enna for a couple years after that.
Somewhere in there.
Well, if Enya trusts you, I trust you because I trust Enya as much as I trust people.
She has healed you a few times. So.
Yeah,
Yeah, just a few times.
just a few times. Smart more than me, but just a few times.
It's about even.
Well, I mean, heal as in me not being almost to death.
Yeah.
That's my specialty.
Thank you.
She figures that going unconscious helps her armor class.
Exactly.
It does.
Like if you're unconscious, people don't tend to hate you as much.
Do that. Unless you're a zombie and then the zombie just wants to eat your brains.
Yeah. But If you, as you guys are talking, you're hearing a knock on Esma's door. And a guard comes in with trays of food, puts them down on the table where the wash basin is, complete with tankards of ale, and turns around and walks out the door, closes the door behind him. And to Jim's surprise, there's all manner of food. You guys know this because you've eaten here a couple of nights now. But there's stew, there's steaks, there's seafood, there's vegetables, there's a bread pudding, there's pie, like all manner of food. And quite large serving of it.
Like they normally feed dragons.
Yeah. Being from a monastery, you have never seen trays of food like this before.
Well, I'm gonna eat all of this. What are you guys having?
Wow.
Well, don't eat too much because you haven't been really eating for a while because you've been stuck in a dungeon. You don't want to get sick.
Oh,
I'm
I'll
gonna eat-
manage.
I'm gonna eat some of the shrimp. I'm gonna have some of the steak. I'm gonna have some bread pudding.
So there's more than enough food for all four.
It all tastes good. I'm just happy.
My character pulls a sack out of his bag and kind of shoves some of the extra into his sack. You know,
Didn't go
never
bad.
never know when you're gonna get hungry. You know, like bread and cheese and stuff. It's fine.
So
Smite is slowly deciding that she's considering just moving in permanently. It's
This place is great.
like maybe I can get a job working for the dragons or something.
Yeah. I love it here.
She's slowly finding out that she's more cheerful than most people here. It's like
A little creepy.
Cheerful is in the eye of the beholder.
well, no, nah, literally. Everybody here except for the dragons and the advisor are depressed. So yeah.
Esma is enjoying this place. I mean, she's not depressed at all.
Well,
surprise, surprise.
I mean the people who normally live here,
Yeah.
they're all depressed. So Smite is actually considered cheerful compared to the rest of the people that live here.
That's terrifying
Very terrifying.
So
Yeah,
sorry
very.
for these people.
and uncomfortable for me.
So what sort of conversation do you guys have while you're eating?
I think Esma wants their opinion on how to do the negotiation. Because she still is relatively young compared to everyone. So she wants their opinion to make sure that we don't all die because of her.
Wait, what are we negotiating?
We're negotiating the dragon to help us gain back my kingdom because it was wrongly taken away from me. And
See?
also so to save our bacon because they would have killed us if we didn't do this.
See, you have to explain all of this to Jim because he doesn't know any of this.
So you have a kingdom?
I
She has a
do.
kingdom?
She
I
claims she
said,
does.
Smite.
She claims she does.
I don't know if
Oh.
they believe me, but yes, I
It-
do have a kingdom.
Wait, if you needed to be reclaimed, you don't have a kingdom.
True. I should have had a kingdom,
I see.
but it was taken away from me by my stepdad because he didn't want me to, because he's really not my father, and he didn't want me to inherit the kingdom. He wanted his natural born kids to.
So you're probably gonna have to like pay them gold, right?
Pretty much we have to kill him or something.
Well, I
Another.
meant the dragons to like get them to help.
Yeah. Well, we accepted at least partially a treaty, where we'll be alliances. Hopefully, we're just in the middle of
Oh.
negotiating that part. So, if we fail, we die. If we succeed, we're gonna be in a war to get my kingdom back. So,
If you fail, you die. If you succeed, you live a little bit longer and then you die.
pretty much,
You know,
I just
uh,
extended your execution. Hope, but if we succeed, we get a lot more. So, hope we
oh,
just have to succeed.
and are you gonna, since you mentioned it, are you gonna tell him about the other side of your family?
Well, I think you could tell I'm a Genasi. So I don't really need to say that part, do I?
You're not. You're not gonna tell him about your favorite bartender.
Oh, well, that's not really her dad. I don't think. That would be a little bit more twisted on Esma's part than I actually planned.
Cause,
No, actually, you're related.
Oh, that would be another level of twistedness, Mike, that I wasn't planning.
I'm going to file that comment away for possible later use.
Oh, Mike, you wouldn't.
That moment you find out your dad.
Oh,
was
he
your
would
father.
though.
But since you and Smite actually mentioned him in the bartender in the middle of because that's who you sent had the wizard send the pack, or you were thinking about having the wizard send the package to him when you mentioned him.
Yeah,
So,
but we decided not to, as far as I know. We decided to send it to this to the one that's in Shadowfell, because we don't know when we'll get back, so or if we'll ever go back.
that's true.
So, Wish Daddy may
Yeah.
just be a dream that Esma never has fulfilled.
Oh, she's had several already. Whether it actually happened, another story completely.
Just a little.
And oddly enough, Smite's had a couple here and there too. So, but so the three of you basically spend your evening eating and talking and getting to know your new friend.
And I
Or,
spend my time re-equating myself with him.
or, or at least new acquaintance. So, So the evening passes. Are you guys gonna go back to your own rooms or just sort of crash in Esma's room tonight?
I am not sleeping with these bitches.
Oh, but we could be all into a cuddle pile and just, for warmth and cuddling.
I did not eat the ecstasy.
No. You all, after dinner, you all sort of
Retire.
Yes.
retire back to your own rooms. And you get I'll say everybody but Esma gets a fairly good night's sleep. Because Esma is still nervous about how this is going to go.
Yes. Because everyone's lives are in her little hands. Her little blue hands.
Yeah.
One thing I did want to say though is like when you're negotiating, start lowball them when you start about what you're going to offer them. So they feel like there's an exchange, like a power exchange of actual negotiation, like they're getting a better deal. Like lowball them for sure.
Okay.
Don't put all your cards on the table first thing.
Yeah, wait a couple of rounds before you do that.
Okay. You have any other advice? Any of you, before you guys go?
Keep a straight face.
Remember, money you pay them later, you can get back with taxes.
True. Maybe I should have you as my negotiator. Seems like you know a little bit about it. Because usually, I'm not part of I'm part of the negotiations, but I have a negotiator with me. So, one of you would be a good negotiator that could assist me in this matters?
I mean, it's not something I've done before, but I know a bit.
All right. How about you? You're my negotiator now. You're a part of my negotiation processes or processes.
I hope this is a paid position. No, I'm kidding.
Yes, you lived.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the payment for this position.
And if you're successful, you continue to live.
If you fail at your job, you're dragon kibble.
I can run pretty fast.
Which you're fine with because you came really close to being dragon kibble anyway.
And Esma can levitate, so she'll just levitate, and you can run, and she'll just follow you. Have a rope tied around you. Get out of Shadowfell as fast as we can.
As the dragons have twice the fly speed that you guys have run-wise.
Yes. Which reminds me, a part of the negotiations is that our cloak, they imbued our cloak and imbued a cloak for all of us. Because that he is a warlock, a strong warlock. So now we will all have a cloak of invisibility.
Yeah, I don't think all four of us are gonna fit in one.
Yeah.
Nope, we had a hard enough time with 3.
So that's a part of our negotiations. It's a cloak.
I don't know that you ever managed to do 3, as I recall.
No, Esma just kept on falling. Which is funny because she's a bard and she should know how to be on top of another person's shoulders.
We did one time when we first tried it before buying it. We did, but after that we haven't.
Esma just, she was too drunk, I guess.
Why is you were drunk?
Because remember we had that the drink, and then we did the little scene, and then so even though you cleared us, we still were drinking. So we had the absinthe.
This is the best bed that Jim has ever been in. this makes your bed at the monastery look like a camping mat. It's like,
Kind of set up my sleeping bag on top of the bed. I'm not sure how to use a bed this big.
Very carefully.
because it's like actually like 9 feet long and 3 or 4 feet wide.
The spread eagle.
So,
I'm kidding.
Roll over a couple times to make sure you use every spot of the bed.
uh,
If you wet the bed, you can just roll over. You'll be fine.
so you guys, except for Esma, as I've said, all have quite a good night's sleep.
Damn people. Be stressful as me. Your guys' lives are as in danger as mine is.
And about 6 in the morning, sunlight comes through the curtains in your room and begins to wake you up. And the next second, you hear what is now becoming a familiar noise. You hear Ishkabel roar from the top of the tower. But this time, next sound you is quite a loud cheer. Because Ishkabel is holding a baby.
Little
And,
Simba.
and, and the people of the city are gathered around. See this momentous occasion. It only happens once every 1,000 years. So none of them have ever seen a new baby dragon.
Sounds pretty amazing.
And then you hear music begin to play. Because this signals the beginning of the festival.
Yeah.
Which sounds like it's a lot of fun, Mike.
30 times. Yeah, thinking about it, I've never seen a baby dragon on its first day of existence either.
That Esma
That's-
definitely hasn't because she's so young.
I mean, there was one other time.
Potentially.
What do you guys do?
Well, I think Esma said that the talks are gonna be once the festival starts. So Esma's getting dressed for the negotiations, and she knocks on Sorrow Song's door and says, "Hey, are you up? We gotta get this ready." Everyone,
Yeah.
alrighty. Let's get some food and get the show on the road because this is either going to be the best show that we ever performed or the last show we ever performed.
We can always reach happy negotiations. It's just about how much you're going to pay.
All right. I trust
Or what
you.
you're willing to do.
I trust you. I don't know why I trust you, but I trust you. It's like I've known you in another life.
Have one of those faces.
James knows he needs to get up, but he's still internally he's grumping about it because he's never slept in a bed like this before, and
He's too much in love with it.
and up. And if it was up to him, he'd just stay there for as long as he could.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's like, so, and so, do you go wake up, Smite, and then you two?
um,
You just sort of leave them to their own devices? Or what?
so I think Esma tries to knock on Anya's door, but she's gone. Or she doesn't wake up. So, and she knows Smite's gonna have fun at the festival because that's all Smite's been talking about. So
I hope you know better than to wake me up. But the
Yes.
dragon squawking did wake me up, but then I went back to bed.
So Esma already knows that Smite is not a morning person and she wants to enjoy the festival. And Anya, she knocks on Anya's door, but she has disappeared. um, does she ever answer the door though?
You're muted.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so she finally opens the door, and Esma tells Anya, the sooner we finish negotiations, the sooner we could leave here. Do you want to be a part of the negotiations, or do you want to enjoy the
Sure.
festival?
I'll go join the negotiations.
All right. Because I trust you. I don't know how much I trust Sour Song, but I'm beginning to trust him. But we will need all our brain power for this.
So, as the three of you are walking down the hall, you hear a deep rumbling. But it's not the same sound that you've heard Ishkabel make. It's slightly higher pitched. And as you walk into the great room where you've talked to the dragons before, you see female sitting shadow dragon standing there by herself. And in common, she says, she looks toward Esma and says, I have spoken to my mate, and I know the type of negotiation that the two of you will be doing today. I hope it does not take your entire day, or even though this is the Shadowfell, the festival is pleasant enough, and you might enjoy it slightly.
We'd love to take part. If he knows what we seek, has he set a price?
Well, she nods her head toward Esma and says, these two have talked once or twice.
Here's a skosh.
It's how they saved themselves from the fate you were about to have. Without it, there would have been 4 of you chained in my dungeon.
Barbecue.
That
Barbecue.
was just a misunderstanding. I brought you this, and I present her the painting of the castle.
So we would have had a barbecue genasi, a barbecue tiefling, a barbecue human. You know, multiple choices, multiple options.
Well, she says the baby has to eat something.
Thankfully, we are not our dinner choices today.
And at that point, the baby wormling dragon comes bounding into the room.
Aww.
And sort of, for lack of a better term, crashes into its mother because it's, you know, still a tad unsteady on its feet, being a day or two old. But she absorbs the blow and grabs the little one and pulls it closer to her. And she says, I hope the negotiation goes well, because if it doesn't, not only is your fate in peril, but the fate of everyone on your island.
Aw, her mom. But
No pressure.
no pressure. She does love her mother.
She says, my mate is strong. I'm somewhat more devious than he is. I just warn you, do not try and trick him, because I will know and you will suffer. And with that, she takes the baby and walks out of the room.
Dragon danger, dragon danger. We're all gonna die.
Better be pretty convincing there,
I
Esme.
say to her, you really are a princess, right?
Of course, that's how come I was able to pass the test.
There's a test.
Well, they had to check out my qualifications. So yeah, I would have
see.
failed, and I would have been barbecue.
No, you would have been the product, which is even worse.
Yeah, I would have been a genasi barbecued sandwich.
Shall we say you'd have been a charred genasi? Because you would have turned black and all your meat would have fallen off your bones.
I imagine they would have probably saved me though for the celebration as a, you know, as a warning also. Just imagine that.
So, while you're waiting for Ishkabale to appear, Smite is just having a wonderful time.
And you're sneezing like crazy.
She just wandering around, looking at the festival, listening to music, and you know, the music is somewhat depressing, but it's the first music she's heard since she's been here. And
Honestly, I like it.
She didn't like my music that I did?
Those cheerful little ditties of yours are charming. But honestly, I prefer this kind of music.
Yeah.
Plus, I smoked a little halfling weed. I'm having a nice time. I slept great, had a wonderful meal. Mwah, this place is amazing.
Oh, good.
Uh, yeah. You stop and talk to a couple people. There's people dancing. People are asking you questions because even here, tieflings aren't common. So, yeah, you
Did it
have
hurt when you fell from hell?
you can't fall from hell.
Everything hurt.
You'd have to levitate. You can't fall. Little kids stop you and ask you about your horns because you've never seen them.
Most of the time, they just like don't make eye contact and run away, especially the adults. They're like, yeah, this is really new and unusual.
Yeah. So
I feel like kind of welcomed here.
it's the first place you've been in since you've been a grown up where people aren't afraid of you. So you're having a pretty good day so far.
I'm gonna look see if they have any condos.
Condos.
Going for that, you know, Shadowfell timeshare option.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, I want to come back.
so, well, Smite is just having a beautiful day. Uh, a few minutes after the female dragon leaves,
You scare us
Ishkabale
before we negotiate. I can understand this tactic. I totally get it.
walks rather casually into the room. And you see him shake his head a bit as he uh, negates eh, the instant fear instinct that most people have around him. So, are we ready to talk again?
Of course.
Motions over to three chairs that are sitting in. Please seated.
Esma
Sit
go.
down.
Esma sits down next to Sorrow Song.
I sit down on the other side of her.
And she secretly grabs Enya's hand and squeezes it and gives a death grip because she's nervous.
Ouch, girl.
And Ishkabel says, if I'm not mistaken, in our preliminary discussion, you asked for assistance in regaining your kingdom.
Yes, I did.
And in return for this assistance, you offered me a place on your island for the times that I wish to come the prime material point.
Yes. We would have an alliance.
Firstly, do you know, even in rough terms, what I would be facing if I agreed to help?
Well, the one term I would have is that my mother would live. I don't want her to die, but I would take over her throne. She is the queen. I don't care if my half siblings die or not.
I think he's asking the composition of their forces.
Oh, okay. The forces, it's pretty strong. I mean, they are a seafaring town. Mostly, they're mostly people who deal with, fishermen and stuff like that. But they do have a strong guard. And they are known to be mighty and a force. I may be able to have some political leverage, as I am known to be the rightful heir of the kingdom. So we do have that, but we would require some gold and some of your soldiers.
No. Unless your land's army is stronger than expected. I believe a force of my elite dragon guard could quite easily dispatch them. And of course, I and my mate would assist.
Above game, I can totally see a destruction of the whole kingdom. And Esma can kind of see that, and she's like, we would like to keep the kingdom intact because we would like to actually have a kingdom in place, and we don't want to destroy the whole economy.
Well, what my thought was is just not destroying your whole island, because that would not get me what I wish. Destroying your military forces and the rest of your royal family. If we can accomplish that, I would assume the people of the kingdom would be quite happy to do what we asked. As I am the ruler of this city, my personal hoard, well, I should say mine and my mate's personal, is quite large. So money is not necessarily an issue. Gold is not necessarily an issue. our main goal is to have access to the prime material and a safe place from to do. And you have shown that you are at least moderately trustworthy, although your initial deception could have cost you life had we not been in the happy mood we were in at the time.
Understandable. I would ask for my ring back so that I can show, because it's one of the proof of me being royalty, so I would need my ring back. And if you can restart my cloak and provide cloaks to each of my guests, because we are going to go into dangerous situations, we would need a cloak of invisibility to make sure that we are not, we are more secure. If your advisor can do that for us, I would appreciate it.
Oh, he was the one that deactivated your cloak, so I don't see him having a reversing that. As far as obtaining 3 more, I could have a guard go out and purchase the cloaks and then have my advisor enchant them for you. Now, I would ask that whatever monies from our hoard that gets spent, this little objective of yours, be replenished. And it doesn't have to be immediately, it can be over time. But
Sarah Song, what's your opinion on this? And yeah.
It sounds like
it would
better
be
than
good.
you could
I think
really
it
hope
seems
for.
like a good deal. I mean, all he wants is the money repaid and a place to come into the material plane safely.
He
I mean,
wants a
that's not a bad
timeshare.
deal.
He wants a timeshare.
Yeah.
Which
And he's giving you a loan, no interest.
that's true.
Yeah, that's a very good deal.
So the Emerald Isles have multiple islands. I think of a one small island that would work. It's about, I would say, about 20. It's like, well, I can do it in the size of football fields, but that doesn't work in D&D. But it's a good size. It's probably about 50 miles long one way and 80 miles the other way. Would that work for you to land on? It's pretty uninhabited.
does it have wildlife?
Yes, it does. It's pretty untouched.
So no people, but we would have excuse me, we would have the ability to hunt our own food.
Yes.
The
only request I have is you don't kill any of the fishermen that, are near the area, as long as they don't touch your island. If they touch your island, then they are fair game, but if they don't touch your island.
Well, having fishermen nearby, we could make a deal with them and buy their fish if necessary. It might even help your economy a tad.
Yes, I agree.
If you prefer a castle built and all nines, that could be considered as well.
Well, I have the funds for that. And on the prime material plane, you would have access to builders easier than I would. But that is something to be considered if this arrangement continues.
I don't see why you wouldn't. I want my kingdom. You guys want access to the above plane. So, I agree with your terms from what I can hear so far. And it sounds like you agree with our terms. And then Esma grabs Anya's hand like really tightly, like it's about to break.
If terms that both sides have stated can be are amenable and can be agreed to in writing, I don't see an issue. But you have an idea of a possible timeline.
Well, we'd have to go to the Emerald Isle. I'd have to talk to Emerald Isles, and I'd have to contact my contacts, the people who want me on the throne, and we'd have to plan that. I would give or take 6 months to a year.
But it sounds like you can have the island now if it's abandoned, but there's no one there.
And maybe we could set a base on that for when we do the attack.
That would be a smarter move because I could have facts talking about building if I have a contingent of my dragon guards with me when they're not before the combat happens, they could start building a defensible keep in case the island would attack.
And then we would just need a few guards on our side to fight with us, and my ring and gold, so that we could go and meet with my contact and set up the rebellion, as this has been being planned for many years.
Sounds quite doable. In fact, I don't necessarily think it would take 6 months, but things happen, so we'll see about that. I can have my advisor begin to work on a strategic attack plan.
We would appreciate that.
So he can be doing that while you are, quote, negotiating with the nobles in your house.
Sounds like a plan. I agree to your terms, as stated.
I will have Castle Scribe write these terms up, and all that is left are signatures, and we have an alliance.
Wonderful. Do you mind if we join the celebrations until everything's been out? This is a once in a lifetime event, and we'd like to enjoy it.
This is true. My scribe should have the documents drawn up by dinner time. So instead of taking room service, what I will arrange is I will have a formal state dinner prepared, and you may sign the documents during state dinner.
I appreciate it.
I will have a guard come and escort you when that time comes. Until then, you are free to join the festival, and I hope you enjoy yourself.
Oh, I will. I'm going to play some music and enjoy myself. Oh, and we're also going to do an ice cream stand, right?
Yeah, if you will allow us to.
Oh, what?
An ice cream stand for the festival.
What is this ice cream you speak of?
It is a delicious thing that we learned about that melts in your mouth and is nice and cold and sweet.
It's like some kind of dessert.
I think I think it would be a nice addition to the festival that you already planned.
I do not see a problem with that. With that, bid you farewell and walks away. What did the three of you do? Because Smite's already partying her brains out.
Mike, it's about 10:08. I thought it would just be a good ending at that point, and then maybe we could talk about the festival next week. I don't know if that works for everyone, or if you guys want
or a week after next.
a week after next. I mean,
that is a perfect ending place, and week after next we will pick up with you guys enjoying a bit of the festival and going to your first ever state dinner.
and getting more gold, right? Because Esma needs gold because she spends way too much.
I imagine after you sign the proper papers, finances can be worked out.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I think we'll end here for the night. Thank you guys for watching again. We are very appreciative that you guys keep tuning in to our stream. And please check us out on YouTube because all of our previous videos are there. And also something that you won't see anywhere else but on YouTube, which is our after show.
Well, actually, you do get it on our podcast. Just an FYI.
Our podcast too. I didn't know that myself. So where we sit around and talk about the episode and what we liked and how it went and all that. So please take a look at those and the other videos on YouTube and listen to our podcast on Anchor if you can't watch us. And anything I forgot?
Oh,
And please join our Discord.
Yeah, please join our Discord group. We want as many of you guys on there as we can get.
if you want to go into our Facebook channel, you can get our events and little snippets and extra stuff. We do have a Facebook channel, a Facebook page, and
you can leave us posts and ask questions, and you can ask us questions on well, you can ask us questions in the comments on the videos or in Discord or on.
or if you want something on the ad, we can actually make any ad suggestions. Maybe we'll go up into the ad. That might be something you like.
That would be fun. That'd be interesting if
Yeah.
we could get you guys in the ads.
Or add their suggestions onto it.
And yeah, the more of you guys get in contact with, the more of you guys end up being followers and subscribers, the more things I will set up where you can influence our game. Like you could give Esma disadvantage on her negotiation rolls and see what happens then.
Or
like
give me advantage and not disadvantage, and give the DM disadvantage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give the DM disadvantage.
You could do that, but most people know they root for the dragon every time, so you know how that goes. We all love dragons, you know how that goes.
I love dragons too, but I love Esma also.
Yeah, I like dragons, but I love India.
But also you can see us on you can message us on Twitter, and then also I hope you like our new logo. We changed a couple of things around. I hope you guys enjoy that. And sorry about the time schedule changing, but I hope that it gives us a better chance of giving you guys better content, and it doesn't mentally exhaust all of us to do so. So I hope you appreciate. I hope you bear with us on that.
Yeah, we do still have some minor adjustments to make because of the schedule change, and over time we will do those. Just hang in there with us till we get everything resituated. And next week will be Esma's beginnings. So
There'll be some changes there, but hopefully you guys enjoy that too.
and we'll be back with Fallen Dragons the week after.
Yes. Oh, actually, no. Next weekend the weekend after that, we're actually having a week off because I'm getting surgery.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
Sorry about that. We'll miss that one because I'm getting surgery. Nothing serious, just yeah.
We'll mention that again next week, so you'll remember it.
Yes.
And maybe by then I will too. But once again, thank you all for watching. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.